you can find the products of the company. So the number of the product, the name, so the description of the product, and the business segment. This product order. Okay. And the transaction tab, you can find details about the transaction, so growth of the company, invoice dates, service dates, sales amount, and the key or the code of the employees here. Okay. So we have four tabs. The first was to add this table to the data model. We should make queries on that to the data model. So how can we make queries from this table? Connecting the tables. Yeah, connecting the tables. Yeah, that's a better one. Yeah, so you can use data tab and from table range option to make queries from the tables. So let's use this option. Okay. And we can make queries from the selection. Okay. So data from table range option. Okay, let's make our first query. Okay. So I'm taking the name going. So you can find here the name of this query is table one. So this should rename it to employee. It's employees query. So we're renaming it to employee. Okay. So first,
Đã ra không mẹ tao mày get data from table range. Đây là phố rồi. Ở cái kia, cái tab đầu tiên bật tắt cái này. Không bật tắt đi. Không vừa qua tab pin và tròn lại.
At the very basic stage. Okay, so if you do something in this query, the table will change like a query. Okay, so we can change it.
Trong đổi tính.
Okay.
Cái tay buồn.
Đổi cái kia kìa. Thành employee. Xong là xong.
Okay, so we have found the employee table is 20, we can find 20 here. Okay, right side. Okay. So let's make a query from the location. They don't fix the location. We can use again data from the table range. So we can make one more query.
Yes.
Okay.
Close the key.
Yeah.
Tôi chọn cái gì nữa vậy?
Cái tab này.
And we can
Cái
use
gì?
it again to location.
Tôi sẽ save cái gì? Activate the save.
Okay. Then we can
Make sure to location.
say or keep again changes. Okay, so location then, second one, so we have employee location. So we can use product. Yeah, so we can make one more query. Okay. So select use data from table or induction.
Three query.
Yeah, sure. We could check the type of data in this form and we could change that. But now we don't need to change. We can do this table. Okay. So the table is product. Product. Okay. We can keep these changes. It's very okay. So employee location product. The last run system section. Okay. So data from table or range must make the last value. Okay. So remaining to the introduction. Okay. So for queries. Okay. So it should grow query into the changes. Okay. So in this query is the transaction. Okay. So now we can just add the them to the data model. You can find the load to option. Okay. So you can use this load to option to add the data to the data model. Okay. So just click on the employee, for example, employee query, and let's check the load to option. Here you can change your mind, so you can make only connections. You don't have to see this table in Excel, just the query, and you can add to the data the data model. Okay. Okay, so add data the data model, very important. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And it's going to connect to other tables because we may use this table from other ones, so it's connected. It's something about to us so we can make query from this second table. But we should not build these other tabs, okay? Because these tables are connected with that. Okay? So we should not delete these tables, the original ones, okay? Because they are connected with others, the new ones. Okay? So, yes, okay. Okay, then the second one, location, so row 2, the same. Yeah, same, so row 2, on the great connection and rotation below. Okay, so, yeah. Okay. And the third, row 2, okay, so row 2. Yeah. That is, if you don't want to see this table, you can use only great connection option and add the data model. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Fine. And the fourth one, so transaction. Again, look two. And have the model and two runs. And we create connection. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so after that we added to the data of the data model, so we added these tables to the data model. Okay. So after that we can use hierarchy wall. Open the dialog. Okay, so now in Excel, so you can so you should add this add into your Excel. You want to use this option at home or in your own computer, save and here options
S cái gì?
and this and try
Mày S cái gì mà thiếu thiếu cái gì để S chứ?
this new idea. I think it's Excel edit. No, the command sorry. So file options, add-ins, and form. Okay. You can find here, Firewall,
Mà đủ mà có rồi.
and last one in my list. So Microsoft Power Bureau for Excel. You can select now this one. Power So you want to reference you can use options. Okay.
Cái không cái gì mình là thế mình đang người.
Okay. Okay, so let's end this and into Excel. Okay, so Mario, let's see the exercise. So, okay, yeah, for tables, yeah, which are linked to each other, import them, yeah, done, and connect them together using a quick fields. Okay, so yeah, so connect them together. Okay. Okay. So let's open this manage. Option. Okay. So first we can make a connection with this table. So an OE location product and transaction. Okay, so let's make these connections. How can we make these connections? Which form? Or which field? We can use a diagram. Okay, let's see this diagram. Yeah. Okay. So in this form, you can see all of your tables. Okay. And the headers of these tables. Okay, so the name of the columns of these tables. So we can make connections with these tables. Okay. So now you can make connections between tables or dimensions. Tables, you have two choices. The first one, you can make connections, just you need to solve your problem for the task. Okay, the second one, you can make all the connections you can. Okay, so you can just make an aggregate table to analyze, for example, the number of transactions of each market. In this case, you can make, for example, just a connection between the transaction and location. Okay,
Bật cái này cho video nữa.
you can check,
Sau video đó, cái này
for
là cái này.
example, the average hours of the employees,
Hay là phải là học này là biết là nó luôn là
yeah, of each region.
Có một cái tích.
In this case, you can make the connection between employee and location.
Hay là có một cái tích này nè.
So you have two choices. You can make just the connections you need, or you can make all the connections.
Làm rồi.
So let's make the connections. Okay. So
Lặp lại mà.
we can make direct and indirect connections. So we have
Cái nút mà S
branch number,
from
for
table á,
example,
có cái nút tích cái và tích.
location table. So we can use keys. Okay. From this table, we can find keys. In this table, we can find similar one. So branch number, we have a branch number in location table and a branch number in transaction table. Yeah, so we can make private table to analyze the sales amounts of each market. Now, okay, because we made this connection. Okay. So, okay. Branch number. Okay. Then product number, so we can put product number, the product table and transaction table. So we can make connections, connection between product and sale product and transaction table. Okay. Yeah. We can check the directions of these lines. What do you think? What does the direction or directions mean? So from this table from product to transaction, for example. What does it mean?
From transaction to
It should be on for product two transactions. So here you can check. That's what does it mean?
The transaction ID. What? The transaction ID. Identification. Each product has a transaction identification. Each product say. Each time I say sell a product, I have an ID. This.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think I know now. So yeah, so yeah, we can aggregate the sales amounts, for example, transactions table based on the product table. Okay, so this is the reason of this direction. Okay, so we have the products, yeah, in this table. We can aggregate, for example, the sales amounts of the transactions based on the product table. Okay, so that is the reason. And what does the other direction mean? So location to transaction is the same. So we can aggregate, for example, the sales amounts based on the location. Okay, for example, based on the markets. Okay, we can aggregate the sales amounts based on the markets operation. Okay. So the last one, going number. Yeah. So how can we make a connection? Use the going number. That is one reason why we need to use unique headers or column names. So the sales rep is the same as the employee number, so we can make a connection between the number and sales. Okay.
Sales report.
Yeah, not report. Represent.
Represent.
Yeah, okay, represent.
Và nhìn này.
It's the same.
Yeah.
Ủa tại sao lại nói hai cái này với nhau?
So,
Có giống
make
nhau đâu?
all the connections. Fine.
Đéo hiểu gì.
You miss something, you can delete your
Ren ở đây với Ren ở đây.
It's not like that, right? You want to delete
Với lại cái này với lại cái sale rep.
Okay.
Tại sao thì đéo biết. Tại sao nhỉ?
Okay, so you could delete direction, for example, from the model, you miss something. And you can make again that number. Okay. Okay, so you can do it like you want to miss something. Okay. So we made these connections. Okay. Yeah. Fine. Okay.
Này hỏi đúng trọng tâm đấy. Tao cũng thắc mắc cái đấy.
Ở trên cái bảng yêu cầu kiểu thì cái đề bài đó thì
Ủa rồi.
thì cái đề bài đó
Why you connect to the master question? Because it's the same, but
Cô bé à?
the header doesn't.
Huh?
Okay, so it's the same key,
À,
but the header doesn't. Okay, so sales is the center view.
à đù.
This one. Okay.
Béo đọt đì.
So it's the same as the employee number.
sales representative các bạn employee
Yeah.
Cũng hẳn. Lát miên. Chắc là đồ như cái móng tôm cái này. Cái mình cái process ấy, cái buổi thuyết trình thứ hai của mình là ngày 23 hay là 30? Ok.
Okay. Little pivot table based on the internal data model. The purpose of the report is to show how much sales for each time period is a quantity employee. Okay, so it's the same. Okay. Generate each product category. Create the pivot chart. Or it's a copy like this. Okay. So how much sales? Okay. For each time period. Okay. It's a quantity. Okay. Generated each product category. Okay. So let's make this pivot table. So here we can make pivot tables directly from the CMAR view. Okay, so pivot table here. Let's make pivot with a new worksheet. Okay. So yeah, you can find here our tables. You should use tables where you can find this yellow, orange, okay, because it represents these tables added to the data model. Okay, so the first four we can use to make this pivot table. Okay, so we can use this one, so time period. Yeah, so the is okay, and product category. Okay, so we can use product category. I think we can find product category, product table. So the product description is a product category. So product description. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 product categories. Okay. Then we can use time period. Okay. And we find time and date. I think the transaction table. So time period. We can use this type of time period, service date and invoice date. We can choose one of them. Or no, for example, service date. So the date of the service. We can use the 0. Okay. Then I think we should use transfer year, for example, as 0. So we can remove the others. So sorry, I remove all of them. So here we need sorry years. Okay. Yeah, and we can change that order. So the year should be the first category, then the that category. Okay. So periods and for that category, okay. And the sales representative, so the employees we need, so we can find the employees. Here, sales representative, yeah. Okay. So it's number. Okay. No problem. Okay. Then here also we have just the employee number, but this is made the full name of this employee. Okay. So number. Okay. for number, fine. And we can use how much cells for each library, so we can use cells. Yeah, cells amount. We have just cells amount. The cells amount. Okay. Yeah, and it's the same as the sum, so it's sum of the cells. Okay. We can change up the time of the form of this number. We took the small places, 1,700. Okay. Makes it maybe easily analyze. Okay. So, in this one we can check the sales amount of each category, each product category, each year, and each employee. Okay. So we can find the summarized values in this pivot table, but we can change the settings of the pivot table to see them. The design tab of your pivot table. Okay, and you can use the subtotals and grand totals of them. So you can select, for example, show all subtotals at the top of the rules. Yeah, that way that we can show them. Okay. So here we set the amounts, for example, here is 10, 170. Okay. Bring the pivot tables from data to the yielding. Okay. So what do you think? What could be the problem with this form of the table to summarize this data? We can try to make table, so diagram per chart. So you can just stay in your pivot table and use pivot table analyze that and pivot chart. Okay, so sometimes formatting of this diagram. So we should use, for example, okay, so this is this form is good to analyze, yeah, so the yearly and sales amounts of each product categories and the sales amounts of each employee, but you can't make all your diagram, which I can need. So we can use other form. So I think we should not use the sales graph because we have too much employees. Okay, so this is the reason of this type of chart. Okay, so we have too much employees. So we can't use the employees as value or value of x axis. So we can remove it. After that, maybe it would be better if we can. So what can we change to make it better form of this chart? What do you think? Do you have any idea? We can change the structure of this pivot table. Okay, so we can use something as columns, for example. Okay, so I think it needs the year as a column. Yeah, we have zeros. So the company did not sell some of the product categories in 2005. Okay, no problem. So we can make a pivot table in this form. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's better, but in some cases, the company has so little amount of sales. Okay. Or we can change the product category and the year. Yeah, but in this form, we are doing a lot of empty cells. But we can make this diagram in this form. Okay. So change again. Okay. We can use a theater, for example. To be a theater. Yeah. We can check just 1 year, for example, 2003. We can make a video to check just one first. Okay, this is better. Then in the exercise, contains the step to make slicer. So let's use the slicer. Okay, so people they will analyze the slicer in the slicer. And let's try to use slicer from transaction table and service date we use. Okay, service date. Okay. Yeah. So with this slicer, you can check, yeah, for example, the or the week or the currently transaction and sales amount. Okay. Yeah, sure, you can make a big of charts. Uh, diagram to check it. I think this is days, the company doesn't have any.
Chuyện các bạn
Ừ.
That amount.
Cái này à?
Okay.
Trời,
không có đi bắt
cái này à? Mà slicer. Cũng làm chặt sọt quá có hiệu vậy. Tao nói xong rồi.
cái
Ừ.
dạng
Ừ. Ý là nếu mà mix vào thì nó phức tạp quá. Cái ông sọt ra ông chặt.
Yeah, it's dated, but maybe make slicer in the years. Okay.
Tóm lại là nếu biết ta làm gì thì
So the yearly slicer.
chơi
Okay. Okay, it's better.
Nice.
Okay. Then you can change the form of this story. This diagram is awesome. Maybe it's clear enough for us. Okay. Yeah.
Cho xem lại cái Isulop xem ta làm cái con mè gì trong phải cho tiền gì làm đéo có giống là
Okay, so that we got, bring the calculation, transaction table, where we count all the invoices, and we calculate the difference between the service date and invoice date. It's the service. Date minus invoice date. Invoice date. Okay. So Excel calculates all the dates as numbers, so we can make some calculations with these dates. Okay, because these are numbers in Excel. So what can we calculate with this calculation? So service days minus invoice days. So it's the date of the service. Yeah. On this day, I think maybe the payment of the service. So what can we calculate with this calculation?
The amount of time.
Yeah, between the service and the payment. Yeah, so maybe the payment period.
Payment period.
Yeah, payment period. So in that payment period. Okay, so we can calculate. Okay. Yeah, so let's calculate this payment period. So we can calculate the form, but we can use the data view and time view. So let's see the data view. Okay. So we can use transaction tab or payroll. So we can select transaction tab. We can calculate the difference between the service date and the invoice date. So we can find here service date and the invoice date. Okay. So we can check the differences and see that, right? So most of the cases show the payment date is just 1 day. So for example, here the service date is the 7th of January and the invoice date is 8th of January. So the payment period is just 1 day. Okay. And here again, so 22nd of January. Service date and the invoice date is 23 of January. So the payment period is just 1 day. Okay. So let's calculate these differences. So we can make a new column, which name should be payment period. Okay. Yeah. We can calculate service date minus invoice date, so it's equal to, so it's you have to write it, you can choose the service date from this service date minus second version, so you can select uh, the column you like to use, so invoice date, for example. Okay, so service date minus invoice date. Okay, let's calculate this value. Okay, yeah.
Quite good.
Okay, we have not enough days in this column
Quite good.
because we have waited with days. So the type of this data is also date, but we can change this type of data to number. Okay, so we can select this column and change the type of the data to number, decimal number. Okay, so decimal number.
Cũng 6 ra âm 1 rồi.
Okay, so it should change the type of this data to decimal number. Okay. Yeah.
Here, the format, the date is not working. In the case.
Bà chọn cái cột này, xong bà đổi thành decimal number.
Yes, we can change. Yeah,
It's the format.
invoice data.
Cho chị thêm mấy cái vào cái Isulog. Tại bà kêu là Isulog chị là bị ốm. Chị nhớ.
Cái delay hay là bị thiếu này kia.
Ta sẽ nói là ví dụ như ông Bình bị ốm, ông Bình vắng mặt thứ
Chừng lắm.
đi kiếm cơm. Nhớ chị nhớ cái đấy.
Trước anh còn sửa luôn cái đồ của nó hay là mất sửa sửa mẹ thôi.
Sửa theo ý em đi. Đáng tin nó là
Yeah, the transaction just
Đéo cái thằng nào bên cái nhóm đầu tiên nè, cái nhóm đấy làm chỉ mới vào cái mà chỉ ngược luôn.
chỗ thành đó học chung thành quốc đơn đó
Nó Quỳnh ý.
nó bên second side
Yes. You have
Thực
days when you can
vậy cái nhóm mới làm hay vậy, mà nó nói cũng hay.
set up the table.
Chào Bình ý.
bạn cũng
Nói
Okay.
Mà ông đi la liếm hay không?
vậy là liếm.
có ít một xíu chứ
Okay. Yeah.
Trong nhóm nó hay nhất như được sếp nó
Okay.
làm mẫu như
Rồi nhóm tụi tao cuối cùng là bây giờ nhất nào đi này.
So because the form of this calculation, so this day minus invoice day.
Tao bị xếp cuối cùng.
Yes. What are my numbers?
Yeah. So all of them shows that, yeah.
Hai nhóm mình
So
có
what does
mới
this
là cuối
minus
cùng vậy.
numbers mean? What do you think? Minus one.
we have to pay for the service.
Zero, zero.
It's never pay before.
No. So these numbers of service day and invoice. And we have minus values, so the invoice date is service. Okay.
Is higher. Yeah. Okay, higher.
Tức là tao không lấy cái invoice day trừ service day, chỗ ra số dương.
Okay, so this, yeah, they pay after. Okay. Okay. Yeah, what is this? So calculation suggests difference between the service days and invoice days. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So the next step. Read the calculation in transaction table. Okay. Yeah, the name invoice. Okay, we use another name. I think it's not a problem. We can rename this table if one invoice. Okay. Yeah. We use payment period, but we could rename it to invoice. Okay. Okay. It's fine. So, using the data model, grade this in F1A3, a pivot table which presents the top 5 customers by region that generated the highest revenue. At the slicer with the invoice data, summarize the average meal work hours for the top customers. In the current table, use the calculated field to compute the average hourly rate for these customers. Okay. Okay. So we can make a new pivot table from this guy. So new pivot and new version. Okay. So we can use, yeah, the customers, but I think these customers are employees because I think we don't have information. Or we have customer number. Okay. So
Cái này
yeah, so top 5 customers. Okay. So we can use customer number. We have, yeah, customer number.
không như
So, for example, we have a lot of customers. And we can use our customers, okay, by region, so we can use our region, okay. Generated the highest revenue, so we can use the revenue, okay, revenue. What we have, so we have sales amount, we have the sales amount, I think. Okay, so sales amount, yeah, and it's nice, yeah, in the States. Okay, and the rest, every field, average, your amount, okay, yeah, what is our customers? We can use calculated field, okay. To compute the original rate for the customer, for this customer. Okay, so customers, region, revenue. Okay, so customers, we have, then we can use the region. You can find the region location table. So region. We should use as a main category. So the region, then the customers. Okay. So region and revenue. Okay, so sales. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we can change for this number just some sign. Okay. So after the separator with the small places. Okay. So
One question, which data did you use for that pivot table? Which data?
which data? Which is base or which data?
Oh,
This one. Okay. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. Simple. Okay. So region, customer, and sales amount. Okay. On this line, sir, we invoice page, top five customer, okay, by region. Okay. How can we check top five?
Sọt.
Top five.
À đúng, không phải. Cái gì nhỉ?
We
Cái
have
gì ta?
box of customer.
Cái top ấy ở đâu
We
nhỉ?
can use the theater.
À, filter.
Okay.
À,
Theater, which based on not the region, but the customer number. Okay, so you can change select field, here select field, from region to customer. Okay, we'd like to use the filter based on the customer's sales amount. Okay, so we can use the customer number, select field, and then we can use the value filter. So value filter and top 10. Okay, so we'd like to use the customer numbers to make information about the top 5 customers. Use the sales amount, find them. Okay, so top 10 we can use. Then we can check top 5 instead of 10. So top 5 depends. We have to split and based on the sales amount. Okay, so top 5 depends by sales amount. With this setting, so we can check top
mày nói cho
customer
cái nhìn.
and each
Item à?
region
Item hả
based
bạn?
on the sales amount. Okay.
Item à?
5 đúng rồi.
And sure after that we could change the order this to check the first one, second one, third one, fourth, and fifth one. Okay, so we use the filter. Yeah, related to the region, but the customer number, yeah, and then and top down. Yeah. We check the profile, yeah. So then and based on yeah. Okay. Oh, this is checking.
Just here, but it doesn't like
Yeah, because you change this, you should change this one.
to customer.
You have to check the customers, not the regions.
Yes, I understand.
Okay, fine.
And sometimes it still changes the options. Because it didn't change the version.
Mẹ con Hà nó nói mày trong group kinh điển được. Gì?
Yeah. Okay.
Gì? Ủa? Không biết. Cho tính làm gì ấy?
Cũng sẵn sàng bút rồi.
Nhiều tiền thì nào?
So, on the slicer, which was date. Okay. So we can use the slicer. Yeah, we invoice date. Okay. So let's make a slicer. Okay.
Không
So
bảo
the
là
lines in that slicer.
ui mẹ nó bày điên luôn ấy.
Invoice date.
Không nói ra là tao nói mày. Ui cái gì ấy?
Invoice date. Okay. Yeah. Okay. It's a date slicer. Okay. So we made the slicer. Summarizing everything the work hours for the stock customers. Okay. The current people. Okay. Use a calculated sales from use the average hour rate for these customers. Okay. So okay. So how can we calculate the average work hours? This one. So average would be the work hours.
The total hours of individual customers.
Average work hours. Average work hours. So we have about where is the hours, contracted hours, so we have contracted hours That means that we don't think about numbers. So what can we calculate when we think? So we can use transaction table. I think we have key branch number, customer number, product number, invoice number, state invoices, sales amount, effective hours, sales period, sales per annum. So yeah, because I can calculate either.
May you see that they were applied the row labels?
Also,
The-
yeah.
How do you do to get those 6 values per location?
So you have to
So
How do you do to get the 6 values per location?
okay, fine. Yeah,
Bố cái
so
thằng mày làm 10 năm trước bây giờ còn hỏi.
customer number, so based on the customer number field, create another region, and the value for okay. Here for 5, then start.
Quay Facebook cập nhật nhìn mình như cứt rồi trời.
Yeah, so I think we have just a lunch open, so we can calculate sales amount divided by the hours to calculate some kind of average. So sales amount divided by the hours. For example, to calculate the average sales amount based on the work hours. So the average field hours. Yeah. Okay, so sales amount divided by work hours. So let's check this calculation. So we can use the Vienna. Yeah. This exercise asks us to use calculated field, but we can't use calculated field in pivot table because we use EI. So we can't use this calculated field, so we can use the BI part. So we should calculate this value in this BI part and the transaction there. Okay? So we can make a new column, which name should be field hours. For example, with average hours. For average field hours, yeah.
Cho viết cái gì vậy trời, view hả?
So we can calculate it with this formula. So sales amount, so it's equal to sales amount
chia
This amount of transaction table is same divided by the verb. Or what's the name? Yeah, contacted hours. Contacted hours. Okay, so sales amount divided by the contacted hours.
contracted
Okay. Yeah, so average. Sales amount per hour of each transaction of order.
sale amount chia cái gì nhá?
Contact.
Transaction nhưng mà contract thì phải là
So average per hour. Okay, so we calculated this value, so average per hour. After that, we should use this value, so average per hours, in this table. So we calculated this value. After that, you can find this value in your pivot table. Okay, so average per hours. So after that, we can use this column in this pivot table to check the average hours of these customers. Okay. So let's use this average per hours as a value. Yeah. Let's change the sum value to average. Take the average per hours, so average. Let's change the number for yeah, so let's not place it. I think we don't have where to use 4,000, but we can use 1,000 separator and we can check these numbers. Okay. And here we can change the order of these numbers based on the sales amount, check the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth customer. So we can use sort option. Yeah, so we can see in the second row time. So one row of the customers numbers here and the sales amount, and change the sort from smallest to the largest. So sort from the largest to the smallest.
cười khác.
Cười. Giờ chị gây rồi đừng có xài xệ chị nữa.
So it's now the payments of this customer. So the first customer in this list, I think this company or he or she was service customer. You are rate coming out with
Nó còn cả tháng nữa mới lấy rồi. Rung lại.
compare with north, for example, south or west. Okay, so it's an average runs almost the half of the universal average.
beef stick mẹ.
Không mà cái công việc ăn đi.
Beef stick ăn với nước mắm, cũng rất là ăn với mắm tôm.
để dành
Vậy không phải người.
Hay thêm 4 món nêm.
Không làm được cái gọi cuốn được đâu. Nhưng mà nhưng hôm đấy làm gì có ai nhỉ?
đúng rồi, hôm đấy đi học
Ba
đi
ba
thi
đứa
hết.
này đã chắc chắn là đi học rồi.
Kể chứ mấy đứa lớn hồi mình với mấy đứa lớn mà 5 đứa đại diện thôi, còn lại là đi ăn, phải tính sao đủ, mua đủ là cho 10 người trong nhóm mình mất dậy quá.
Ba đứa mình đi ăn thôi, đi làm.
Đúng rồi,
Mình đi cổ vũ thôi hiểu không?
Bảo người đi làm đi bảo người đi đứng hát của em và con đấy đi
Nghe tình đều giống anh.
Đã còn muốn hát cái nhạc của mình.
Bây giờ tôi ám ảnh cái bài ấy.
Không để bà bật remix ra. Không có mỗi bà Hà và chân thì không một người nữa.
Còn nữa mà mấy đứa kia đã báo gì đâu, có 3 đứa mình báo, 4 đứa báo, còn mấy người nữa mà
Con Hà sao nó cứ học.
phù thôi mà, không kia cứ ghi tên đi, ta đi học về ta qua nữa phù.
Không đến vậy em lại đi 3 cả 4 cả.
đúng rồi.
Ta 5 cả luôn ý, không biết 5 cả rồi kể chứ ta phải ăn đi.
Hôm đó em đi học sáng chiều luôn đó.
Tao cũng thế,
Học 5K cả ngày luôn.
tao cũng 5 ca lời. Nhưng mà ghi nguyên liệu mà không cho ghi chỗ mua thì sao mà tìm ra nhỉ? Đồ của mình mà đào đâu ra ở trong siêu thị, còn mất giày đây. Thôi mày ra chơi tới rồi.
So you completed the average hourly rate, okay. And you made this table. Fine. Okay, so we have a slicer, so we have a chance to check for example the top customers of this operation in the first 5 days. The first one is first 5 days. Okay, so yeah, it's done on the extension. So what do you think about this exercise?
Nhiều kịch mẹ như phi mà người ta. It will be like this in the exam. It's gonna be like this in the exam.
Maybe.
Oh no.
Some parts could be on the exam.
And this
For
is
example, is top 5 or top 3 or top 10.
in what week? In what week? When do you have it? In
Last
what week? In the last week?
Last week. I think it's
Mình làm một bài nữa. Làm hai bài. Những một bài
Trong bài mẫu hình như là 2 bài. Trong cái bài thi mẫu.
The last week. The first week of May.
May, the first week of May.
The first week of May is the last week.
Is it the history format?
Thứ mấy nhỉ?
Because
7. 7.
để ý mình để đi chơi.
À 6, 6.
Yeah, maybe 6, yeah. The last week. Yeah, the biggest one, the days of the biggest one.
Mẹ mẹ phát cho mỗi đứa 5 điểm.
Yes, you do. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yeah, sure.
And will you tell us about what exercises do you do in this examination? What model? Or
What kind of
what
exercise?
kind? For example, this kind, this.
Cô như mày quay
I can show you one.
Suppose em
Okay, this.
cái gì ông có mở đâu mà.
It's not like
So, two database. The first one is a question. Okay. The second one is like the next exercise. So, exercise.
Tiếng rưỡi hả ta?
So, like this one. Okay. And that's for the exercises. I think 4 or 5. Yeah.
2 bài.
Questions.
Power BI.
The first one is just open this file or this file. Okay. And then the questions on this exercise. And then you can make some type of pivot tables based on the average age, for example, the general distribution of its residents, from the number of correspondents in each resident. For example, so this one is just some logic, yeah, of the pivot tables, and the second one based on the DI part of this. So,
VI à? Power VI à?
I can change the exercises, and I'd like to show you a sample exam before the last week. Okay. This is video about video YouTube, but with the sample. So I'd like to show you a sample exam. Okay. Because I think it's important, and I'd like to show you at least what you need to pass the exam. Okay. Because I like to show you more than the exam, sure. But I think it's enough for you just develop an art of the course pass the exam. Okay. But I will make all this for you, okay, but you need better. Okay. And then we show you a sample exam.
Okay, sample
Okay.
exam.
And no, but I can check it.
Sao?
Hack tài khoản đã rồi coi
Cả đi, là lý cả đi.
không bị gu.
Là lý im. Ngọc. Sao được? Tự cảm vậy đó.
Good.
Sao sinh động? Ok.
Có chồng cháu là thằng trai lá xô hai ông thân lắm. Mẹ lẹ cái em đấy. Ui em chụp được luôn 71 luôn. Mà chả kêu chả đủ. Chả kêu là chả sẽ đổi. Cái này có cái
No, that's
Ê, sao giống cái bài này vậy?
Thì đấy,
Sao giống cái file trên này?
mấy cái file lõm bài cho mình toàn cái lỏng lắm.
Ui.
Tổng từ hai cái bài trong một đống file.
Cái sample ấy xem ấy, y chang cái này. Ôi, hy vọng là cũng ra dễ dễ. Ôi, y chang luôn.
2 weeks even. Only got in Bangladesh. So only I don't know because not too many people now. So we can do it in sorry, do it in the yeah. Go to the go. She actually got in time. We also experienced that in the winter he went to
You went to see Northern Light already?
Yeah,
When?
the last December.
But you didn't see it?
Uh, Not really. I can show you the picture there, but it's just because of the light. How to say it? Like,
it's not a strong thing.
yeah, the light is really strong, so you cannot like see it directly from your face, from your eyes.
Go into the, like the forest to see it? Like
Not
darker
really.
area.
Not really. If there's in some days the northern light is like really strong, and you can see it
From
from
the
the
village?
downtown. Yeah.
Yeah, but we should go in
Yeah,
spring.
but actually they go like how to say that all hunting and you can with the tour guide you can keep in the forest and then that way
But
you
that
can see
also
more
depends.
clearer.
But that also depends. Like not always, you
Okay.
cannot always see it. Even if
Yeah,
you book
yeah,
like a
that's
tour
it,
guide.
but it's like
Yes.
higher chance to
Yes.
see. But yeah, I saw the picture you go show me and it's like very blurry. It's not very clear. But my friend went this one. Like it's very beautiful. It's clear.
I used to see in spring.
Yeah. Let's go. We have to go.
Here.
This year or in spring next year.
So,
I think this year
so basically, this one I took it from like in the downtown, like in my hotel. I can see it like in the downtown.
Yeah.
So basically, you can see, but it blurred. It's
Yeah,
not
it's
like
blurred.
completely like not
Go into the forest.
white.
Yeah. But did you have a chance to go into the forest?
No, I cannot because I only been there like for 1 day only. I mostly go there to visit the Santa Claus village.
You went to Finland?
Yep. Here. This is from just behind the back door of my hotel.
Uh, how was the Santa Claus village?
It's nice.
It's nice.
Yeah.
I want to go there. I want to go to Lapland and ride the reindeer.
Yeah.
Like, dream. We have to ride the high it's so cute, my friend went
But
there.
it's expensive, right, Henry?
Yep.
Yeah, it's very expensive.
Of course,
My
it's
friends told me
expensive.
that they rode for like 15 minutes and it's cost them like 40 euro. Yeah, not 40, 70 euro.
70
yeah.
euros.
70 euro per one person. Not like you can share. But it's so cute.
So this one here, this is the ladies Santa Claus houses. They also have like the
It's very
men.
homely.
Yep. They also have like the men's Santa Claus and the female Santa Claus.
Oh,
So this
and we
this
can
is
squeeze them and take a picture.
yeah. But because I went there on like at the night time, so the lady Santa Claus she had to go home.
Oh,
So I cannot meet her.
Okay.
So I cannot
You
meet
also have
her.
to go home.
Yeah. So I cannot meet her. But for the you know the male Santa Claus, like it have a long queue line. You have to wait like for 2 or 3 hours to get
Oh,
into the line, and then you go directly into the center because he was sitting in the center. But when you get into the house, you cannot use your mobile phone or your camera. They are not allowed you to take a picture from the outside. You have to go directly to the center with the Santa Claus, and then they will have the camera to take the picture with you with the Santa Claus, and then they will print it out for you.
oh,
Of
why?
course, they do the business there.
Oh, because like you have to pay for that
Yes.
as well. The video recording.
35 euro for one picture. Like, damn.
Did you pay for that?
No.
Wow. Wow. My friends went there this month and they say like the total expenses is around 1,500
Yeah.
euro.
Yeah.
Like whoa. That's cost of what? Wow. We have to be prepared. Me too.
Okay, can we start last Saturday? For a month. Classes and reading. Okay, so we have an access database. With the models, dimension tables.
Cái bài giống trong bài kiểm tra vậy.
We should open just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dimension tables. And then, okay, the technical cells.
70 euro.
We can find data about the transactions. Okay, or about the orders. In this dimension table, we can find data about the products. In the 14 products dimension table, we can find data about the customers, for example, the name, the location of these customers, the data about the customers in the customer table. We can find data about the location, this distance entering dimension table, and we can find the categories of the products in the product subcategory dimension table. Okay. So we need to open or import this dimension table. Okay. So let's open this type of tables. So let's open this table.
Yes.
So we can use this adventure works access database. Okay, so we can download this database. Okay, it's an access database, but we can use access to open this database. And to open this dimension tables, as queries. Okay, so we can make queries, uh, and we should add the table as query to the next one, and then to add to the data model. So we can use a new Excel and open these files, or not files, dimension tables. We have just one file, so one data. So we can so yeah, so let's open this file. So data, get data, but now we have database. So from database and access database. So I will access database. Yeah. Okay. We should select this database, so introvert. Okay. Yeah. So here we can select what we need to import. So we can use select multiple tabs because we'd like to open five dimension tables. Technical sales, product customer, necessary and product category. So we can sell here, the product here, the product category, yeah, and the customer and the sales category. So the sales category, yeah. And the last one, the customer. Okay. The customer. So the customer, the product,
Cha chọn điểm
the
G,
product
cha
category,
chọn sai.
with the century age and technical sales. Okay. So 5 dimensions of So
Cha chọn
Can you
điểm,
show again the word, please? Just to confirm.
cha chọn điểm currency,
Okay.
cha thấy chọn điểm currency.
okay, not this. Okay. Because yeah. Okay, so the customer, the product category, the century and technical. Okay. So after this, we can use again those two options. Okay. But now we can find low solution here. So low two. And then we can make again only connection and add the model. Okay. So let's make this values and add the model. Okay.
Create connection.
Yeah. So do you have error from that?
No.
No,
No, okay. That is so. Yeah. Last problem. So we're trying again. So okay. Faster. So thanks for us. Okay. Okay. Yeah, là được.
Chọn theo cái thứ tự của trong cái bài.
So,
Thì cho theo đúng thứ tự.
and we have to did the
Chắc đéo quan trọng.
fine. So, let's see the first task. So, create full name column, calculated column. Within customer dimension table that you get from the combination of first name, middle name, and last name combination. What will be the data type of the new column? So, what will be the data type of this new column? Number, date, text, sure, text. Yeah, and why we have to use calculated column? Because we use the example Excel. So, let's use this calculated column. So you can use calculated column in the BI perfect in Excel. So it's a column-based calculation. Okay. So manage. Let's see this dimension tables in customer data subcategory, category, and cell. So you can calculate the full name of the customer. Okay, with this calculated column. Okay, here we use calculated columns. Okay, when you calculate something for the actual. So the name of the column should be full name. Yeah. I think you can find the first, mid, and last name of the customer in the customer dimension table. So, so somewhere here, yeah, so we have first name, middle name, and last name. Yeah. Some design so you're going to concatenate them, sure, but you're going to see the first name, then space, then middle name, then space, and last name. Okay, so you're going to make spaces between the names. Okay, so do you remember the root of this concatenation? In the Excel? Yeah. So like function, so we can use the name column, so it's equal to first name, the name of the column, I think first name, so first, yeah, first name.
One question, I cannot see the sheet, the new customer
Thì do mày chưa ghé chứ tình đình.
lower people.
Và đây. Và
Cái bài
và gì đó ta? Chấm phẩy à?
nhớ là vậy.
Cái này à, chấm phẩy. À, quên quá. Quên. Ủa? Cái giống ngoặc nháy này đâu.
Nhớ là như vậy.
Có ngoặc nháy, có chấm phẩy, có nhớ bài nhưng nếu nhớ thứ tự. Và nhảy chấm phẩy.
Phải chậm lại.
Vậy à?
Phải mà làm tiếng phải mới còn một xíu nữa mình có tắt là cái tắt là text with column là phải chọn cái chuyện
con mè. Ok. Xong rồi cái gì ta? Lý từ name mà.
một first name và cái này cái điên cái xong một first name này
Chắc phải lý vậy.
cho nó đúng trong cái dãy cái tab
Chắc cho đúng nguồn.
Okay.
middle name có mẹ đâu mà. Còn này có
Cộng cũng được.
đủ đủ đủ.
Thế là chọn lại cái cột đó.
Sao không có? Nó đéo nhìn nè.
Chị phải thêm cái bà này chứ, thiếu cái bà nữa.
À nhờ. Đéo được. À, đây.
Sao ấy?
Mẹ lắc.
Bán vội nha.
Mẹ lắc.
Không có biết em đâu làm chi.
Kể chứ, mẹ đê nó bắt lao
mà.
mà.
Phải rồi chứ.
Kể tao.
Rồi xí để ngồi xóa.
Ngồi xóa cái mẹ này. Cái gì nữa ta? Last name. Mẹ. Ai giúp vị
Chú.
Mẹ nó.
Không á thì ngay cái chỗ dưới phải chị thấy bằng cái dấu cách space á.
À, space mà. Trên theo ổng ghi space.
Thì đấy thì chị dùng cái space á.
Chắc cho nó 2 space.
Chưa chạy mà lắm.
Có 2 space là cái gì? Đu mẹ như anh vậy. Đéo có mua biết đồ niêu mà bắt thêm vào đề như cự tích. Ui sắp hết giờ rồi. Tối bà ăn gì vậy? Tôi đã biết ăn cái gì. Ăn cái gì ta?
So you see the first name, then and sign, so and. Yeah, we should make a space, so we can use quotation space quotation.
Đủ.
If we make a space, we can make
Space.
then and. Then we can use the middle name. Middle name. Yeah. Middle name. Then we can add one more space, the addition space. And then the last name. The last name. We have, I think we have. Yeah, so, last name. And last name. Okay. So first name and quotation space, quotation and middle name and quotation space, quotation last name. Okay. Name full name. So let's do the full name. Okay. So the name is full name. Okay. Is it?
Tại vì nó không có middle name.
the name.
One last.
So where is the last name? Oh. So somewhere here. So last name. Okay, so first name, middle name, last name. Okay. Okay. So yeah, we created the full name column. Now we can check the type of it. So sure. Thanks. Type. Okay. So the second one is long part of this exercise. So we can use due date and ship date. Okay, so due date and ship. Yeah. So what is the due date? Due date.
The deadline.
So yeah, deadline. Okay. So the deadline of the order, deadline of the order, due date. Okay. And the ship date. Ship date. Ship date.
Nó ghi ở đây luôn ấy. Hơi chống đối xã hội một tí.
What is the ship date?
Nói đi cho thầy vui. Nói đi.
When the shipment is starting, okay, so the starting the year of the shipment, okay, this is shipment, okay, and we should use ship date plus 7, right? Because the average length of the shipment is
7 days.
okay? So the shipment starts at the ship date, so ship date. Starts the shipment and ends 6 days later. Okay, so it's 6 days. 6 days. Okay. 7, sorry, 7 days. 7 days. Okay. And here deadline, date is the due date. So due date is the deadline. The deadline could be, for example, here and after the shipment. So due date, yeah. And due date. It could be earlier the shipment finish and after. Okay. So we can calculate, or we should calculate how many products we made. How can we calculate this number of delayed orders? Use these dates that we can say due date and shipment. How can we calculate the delayed orders of these dates? Due date and ship date plus 7. So ship date plus 7, ship date plus 7 is the end of the shipment. The dates that are bigger than the end date. So I'll get a calculator. So we have 2 days, the deadline and the end date, yeah. The end of the shipment. So the day of the end of the shipment. We have 2 ways to calculate. We can calculate due date minus ship date plus 7. Okay, so due date is minus ship date plus 7. This ship date plus 7 should be higher than the deadline.
Yes, higher.
Yeah, it could be higher. Yeah. So we can use due date minus ship date plus 7, and we can use ship date plus 7 minus due date. Okay. What is the difference between these calculations? What does, for example, the minus value? So minus 2, for example, in the first way. So due date minus ship date plus 7. Due date minus ship date plus 7. What does this minus mean? So in this case, this value, so ship date plus 7, which means the end of the shipment is higher than the due date. So what does it mean?
That delay arrives late.
Yeah, it's delayed. Okay, so the line shows delayed orders in this calculation. So due date minus ship date plus 7. And the other way, so ship date plus 7 minus due date minus 2, for example, again. So the due date later than ship date plus 7. So what does this minus value mean? Shipment arrived 2 days early. Okay.
The opposite.
Yeah. Okay, and it could be shared 0, for example, or minus 7, or plus 2. But plus 2 in this case, this method shows the, okay. And in this calculation, plus values shows earlier. Okay. So we have 2 ways to calculate this. Okay. And I think we will continue this part in the next week. Yes, thank you for your attention. Have a good day from you.
Thank you. The same to you.
Cái gì vậy?
Quê.
Sao vậy?
Ừ.
Nãy giờ nó là gì vậy?
Không cho dặn bài.
Hôm nay. Ủa, thấy cái bài này còn buộc lại không có làm gì.
Làm cô bé rồi thấy.
Chỉ có một
Nhưng mà làm đâu có phải trong cái manage kia.
Ừ. Thì cũng là cái đấy mà. Thằng kia nhà có cũ hay sao muốn hồi về.